yesterday.
Okay.
Was specifically Charlie Kirk. So someone looked up, the hospital they took him to instead of where they would have taken him if he could have been saved. They took him like far away. So somebody Googled all that hospital. The supposed assassin was Googled 2 days before. A lot, like it suddenly spiked and it was from Washington D.C. And take a wild guess what other place?
Tel Aviv.
What?
Tel Aviv.
Yeah, it was in Israel IP addresses, and they searched, whoever this was searched every surgeon that worked at that hospital. My guess is to find one that would say whatever bullshit they want him to say. That
After
you could pay
the
off. The part where you got a distraction to have the shooting. That's how all of the assassinations have been done, including hip hop ones. Go watch rap interviews. They talk about shootings. They talk about someone firing a gun up the block, so everybody looks, and the other guy's right next to you and just touches your chest with a gun. So that's just standard procedure in a public assassination, as is making us watch it. We all had to, for some reason, see it, whether we wanted to or not. Like the Challenger exploding when I was a kid. They wanted us to see that boy when we were kids. They hyped it up, got us all sitting there so we could all watch the teacher explode. I'll never forget this because they pushed this, a teacher's going to space.
I remember all of it.
Shit.
We all went to the cafeteria that day. And the funny thing is, they didn't really have the technology to hook up live TV to a projector. So we're all in this huge auditorium. There's probably like 1,500 to 2,000 of us. And we're watching it on like a 22-inch CRT. But still, I'll tell you right now, as soon as it blew up, because everybody, when it went off, everyone's like, yay! They had all And then within 60 seconds, everybody's jaw was on the floor. It was a mass traumatic event. I truly do believe that.
And you know why he knows? Because he was in the dark occult or black Dianetics, as he renamed it. They love renaming shit. The Twilight language is NLP. There's a thing called Twilight language. And if you look it up on Wikipedia,
what does Twilight language mean, though? What does that mean?
It's from India. It's a Hindu thing, but it's basically just means programming a fucking person.
Do you know Scientologists aren't allowed to do NLP because it's weird. Scientology doesn't want you to do any other weird shit, and they think NLP is too similar to like brainwashing and shit.
Oh, did you know that he's connected to the Charlie Kirk church, and the Charlie Kirk thing is connected to both Scientology, and it's creepy as hell.
I actually am about to do a video about some of the highest level Scientologists spreading information internally that Charlie Kirk got a private tour of the Superpower building here in downtown Clearwater, was given a Scientology booklet about handling sources of suppression, and said Scientology saved his life. Now, to be honest, I think the Scientologists are lying about this, but this is what they're saying to each other.
Yep. And their official story is dog shit. Okay, a 30-06, that is not possible if you ever shot a gun with a 30-06.
Yeah, 30-06 makes no sense.
Okay, it obviously, they don't give a fuck.
But he had a magical neck. Remember, you even said it.
Dude, no, the magic bullet's what killed Kennedy. A miracle neck bone that he had is what stopped the 30-06 from
but it's still
killing the guy making hand signals.
That was the craziest part about what's his name, Colvette, tweeting that out. He tweeted out like, Charlie was just superhuman, and by the grace of God, the bullet didn't go through. It's like, he still died, malaka. Like, what do you, like, there's no miracle here. He's dead.
Well, because the bullet that they said it would have hit the guy making hand signals behind him for sure. But okay, so a miracle.
They did say, although actually, Kurt, in all fairness, there's obviously a lot wrong here. I believe the guy you're referring to, the hand signals guy, is literally that dude who's like his spiritual advisor. Like that wasn't.
Is he a Mormon?
No,
I better not.
No, he's a Christian guy. He's talked a lot.
Okay, so
I believe so. But
it is a deal.
In the comments.
There's one guy in the front. It looks like he could have a palm gun. He could. There's a couple where you see. The first time I saw it, it looked like the bullet, but maybe it was his earpiece flying out. There's 3 angles of 3 different people doing a thing. Oh, not to mention the guy that said.
Clicker. Yeah.
Not to mention the guy that said, now what I thought was like the most believable at the time, but who the fuck knows, is that because you know how Israel pulled off that and the reason I thought about it was because Bibi was in the UN saying, remember when we blew up Libya with them pagers? Remember them pagers? Oh, that's a very interesting detail that I'm glad I didn't gloss over. Whoa. I wonder, now this is just speculation. I hope everyone will forgive me if Erica Kirk signed something like that.
I said the same thing. I believe she is. So Virginia at one point had like 250,000 followers.
Mm-hmm.
So she was calling me a liar. She said I made up my accusations out of thin air. And it's like, dude, you're the CEO of an organization. You've never interviewed me. You've never had a conversation with me. I reached out to her saying, oh my God, I recognized Ghislaine in the media. I have screenshots of all of this. I posted all on my blog. And then she blocked me. And then another survivor reached out to me because I also reached out to her attorney, Brad Edwards. I sent him an email and I got this message back saying, to a survivor friend of ours who was really good friends with Maria Farmer, and therefore, would hear about Virginia also. And they were like, oh, they don't trust her. She's appropriating their story. They're the real victims. And Brad.
That's a very strange way to behave. Now, by contrast, if you ever saw Anneke Lucas talk, I have never seen Anneke Lucas talk about anyone that way as if she thought it was an IP that someone's infringing on. It reminds me of the stupid secret space program Blue Avian bullshit from that guy who then got sued and had to say, yeah, I made it because he wanted to make the money. I forget the guy's name.
Right.
Corey Good. So, but by the way, of course there's a secret space program. I don't know the extent of it, but obviously there's a military secret one of Corey Good and David Wilcock, the reincarnation of Edgar Casey, David Wilcock and Corey Good. Of course, there is a secret space program. I'm not saying it's all the crazy shit that they say, but they're going to put people out who are going to be like, we own this property.
Well, there's programs for everything. Everything's a secret until it's not a secret. I mean,
that's what Jimmy Dore found out with Force the Vote, because that was AOC's idea to force Congress to vote on Medicare for all. AOC pushed that like the phony ass fucking bitch she is. And then when Jimmy was spearheading it, they all tried to kill it. All these people you see that are supposed to be for it, like your crystal balls and your fucking, it's real strange. And you know why they tried to kill it? Because we can't do that vote. If we force the vote, first of all, it won't pass. So what? Let's see who's against you have a Medicare, right? That was, AOC said that. No, Kevin McCarthy could become Speaker of the House was the reason they can't do it.
Right, I remember that.
So then guess what happened? Unrelated to that, Kevin McCarthy became the fucking Speaker of the House.
Right.
Okay. Oh, and the Democrats let Roe v. Wade go away. The thing they said could happen if you dared to do this thing. So not only they not try for shit, all the shit happened anyway. And then when Kevin McCarthy got replaced by Republicans who were sick of that idiot, the Democrats who were saying it would be a nightmare were like, oh, look, the Republicans are getting rid of Kevin McCarthy, one of the adults in the room. Now, why does no one remember that? I remember because I'm on a goddamn news show and I can't forget none of this.
Right.
But when I talked to one of my friends from the Hollywood area, they still think the COVID thing was how they said it was. And they still think Ukraine's the good guys of the thing. They still think that. Ukraine's winning. They still think that. Okay.
It's wild to
nothing
see.
to say about Israel, too, by the way. Not good or bad. I don't want to get involved in that one. You are the dumbest cattle on the planet. And so it's great to have you take these up because I wouldn't have known myself to look for like, and I could be tricked for sure. But the thing is, once I put it together, you can't keep tricking me. That's all. It's not
that's
smart.
exactly it. That's exactly.
So once I go, hey, wait a minute, it's not going to continue.
They're tricking the men too. So they're offering these honeypot contracts to the girls to take down and handle these men.
What do you mean?
Well, so I was offered like fake relationship contracts. I'm apparently this man's handler to keep him in line so that
that's a very interesting detail that I'm glad I didn't gloss over. I wonder, now this is just speculation. I hope everyone will forgive me if Erica Kirk signs something like that.
I said the same thing. I believe she is.
What have we seen? All right, that has him in it. I think that's important. We've supposedly seen a couple shots in the school that's supposedly him. We've supposedly seen him at a Dairy Queen. And then we've supposedly seen some digital files via text messages in a Discord. Other than that, there is no firsthand information at all. Now, from secondhand information, supposedly it was a local law enforcement officer who knew somebody in the FBI that got him to turn himself in with the help of the parents through a church. I've heard that being contested. Okay, all those things being contested. Anything digital, okay, again, color me skeptical because you can spoof a number, blah, 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 blah. The gun being found fully intact when it doesn't seem like there's a gun. on top are being dropped. That's a huge problem for me, right?
Right.
But let's get beyond that for a second, just for a minute, because it does seem like they may have footage of this kid at the scene of the crime or in that area searching in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
If you're totally drugged out of your mind, okay, and this guy, I guarantee there's some kind of mental illness going on here, the one that they've picked up, you may actually believe that you took part in something that you didn't. Or you may actually be there. And that speaks to where I want to go with this MK Often thing.
Yo, he's suggestible. Now, here's one thing you can read off that guy, off the Patsy, with just what you have. That's a suggestible young fella, ain't it? Like Sirhan was the most suggestible. The guy, the CIA fuck that hypnotized him said he was the most suggestible man he ever met. So you just need the right material to work with. And that's what they do all the time. And that drugged hypnosis thing, I mean, I bet they don't even need the drugs as much now if you're the right kind of mentality. They search for people like that and they get them. And this is Utah also. Always factor in this is Utah. Is anybody watching from Utah? You state your government's worthless and your cops are worthless. Most of them are in covens, just so you know. They're the most foul people that have ever cursed aside from the Bush family and Cheney family. Not you and your Mormon friends. I'm sure they're nice. Your cattle that are fed off of by them. But the religion was founded by a coven. And here's why I bring that up. Well, MK Often is one thing, but great CIA people. Oh my God, what great feds Mormons make. You know, they don't do no drugs. Remember in school, they go, if you even smoke pot one time, you can't work for the Secret Service. Remember they used to say that?
Well, they did a lot more than that. But yes, they would tell you about background checks. It would be the FBI. It would be anything big and federal. Hold on, Kurt. We've got a super chat, and I want to get back into MK.
Nice. And you're going to look down on Russia. Is Russia bad? We legalize torture.
Yeah.
I say this to people, okay, and they blank out. They blank out why you're telling it to them. What do you think that is? Not mind control? People were not this stupid. I promise you they weren't. Okay, I'm stupid and I'm smarter than most of the people around me. And I'm a dumb guy. I don't know what happened. Probably it's the aluminum in the rainwater, but all that chemtrail shit they talk about, I said they don't have to drug you to make you dumb, stupid. No, it is. It's not coincident. It's not just greed. Okay, it's not a fucking incompetence. It's malice. Michael Malice. No, it's not Michael Malice. It's malice.
Well, that's the thing. Why are they doing this, do you think? So, like, let's
control, to have Gore Vidal said this in a great documentary called The United States of Amnesia. I mean, it's a great documentary. And he said the goal of every society is total control. That's why. Total. Yeah. Did you read 1984? And now think about all the messaging that you see here in the West, the good part that's not bad, like the Muzzies, right? The good place. And think of the messaging of do it, fake it till you make it. Don't hate the game. All that dumb shit, all that Gatorade commercial shit, right? What do you think that is? That's dinosaur eugenics. That's Nazi shit. The Nazis are a farm team, by the way. They're not the originators of that. The originators of that is England and the Rockefellers who supported Hitler. Okay, that's his biggest supporter. Prescott Bush took the hit, but it was Rockefeller. And Cecil Rhodes, the famous explorer / pederast of Rhodes scholarships you might have heard of. Obama's one and Clinton's one. And he was he based his disgusting roundtables because they wanted to get America back. And they did in World War I. That's what we used to hate the British. We like the French.
Yep.
And their official story is dog shit. Okay, a 30-06, that's not possible if you ever shot a gun with a 30-06.
Yeah, the 30-06 makes no sense.
Okay, it obviously, they don't give a fuck.
But he had a magical neck. Remember, you even said it.
Dude, no, the magic bullet's what killed Kennedy. A miracle neck bone that he had is what stopped the 30-06. And I won't listen to reason. Somebody with a funny hat that's not like my good democracy hat I'm wearing. Theirs is more like a towel, and they're going to blow up to teach them all a lesson. All that moronic shit, okay, that you can only put over on a younger person. All of it. I'm not particularly bright. I don't know if to confess to you, I'm not that bright. So it took me 20 years to put together that, hey, I think something's up with this. Like 20 years. That's not good, dude. So
that's the thing is it takes some people a long time to wake up, right? And that's why they have to like kind of.
You're going to have to,
usher
whether you like it
people
or
in.
not, everybody. Guess what? I got news
Yeah.
for everybody. So when Trump signed the big, beautiful bill, that's going to be your prison, dipshits. Okay, that's what that was for. Because Trump can only live so long, and he's only got one term. He's lame duck. So he put all this, just like fucking Bush and Obama. Obama got rid of habeas corpus, so you could be arrested, and they don't got to tell you why, and they can hold you forever with no charge.
Mhm.
So think of everyone you know. It's fascism's coming. No, Obama signed it in. You fucking morons. You haven't had a democracy. It's a lot to take in. It really is. And
Let's talk about Obama real quick, because Obama was the one who had to be in charge of them zapping that plane. Like in those MH370 videos, people always come at me about aliens. It's not fucking aliens. We're literally recording those with 2 drones, one drone above the plane, one drone. It's not because we're like, oh, we're randomly recording this plane with these drones while the alien orbs came out. No, it's our technology. We're zapping the plane. But what that means is that Obama's
not ours. That's not ours. Certain people's. See, that's the thing. The oligarchs are in charge. Don't worry. Don't worry. The oligarchs
it's Lockheed
own
Martin. It's Lockheed Martin.
And you know why he knows? Because he was in the dark occult, or black Dianetics, as he renamed it. They love renaming shit. The Twilight language is NLP. There's a thing called Twilight language. And if you look it up on Wikipedia,
what does Twilight language mean, though? What does that mean?
It's from India. It's a Hindu thing, but it's basically just means programming a fucking
But do you know
person.
Scientologists aren't allowed to do NLP because it's weird. Scientology doesn't want you to do any other weird shit, and they think NLP is too similar to like brainwashing and shit.
Oh, did you know that he's connected to the Charlie Kirk church, and the Charlie Kirk thing is connected to both Scientology, and it's creepy as hell.
I actually am about to do a video about some of the highest level Scientologists spreading information internally that Charlie Kirk got a private tour of the superpower building here in downtown Clearwater, was given a Scientology booklet about handling sources of suppression, and said Scientology saved his life. Now, to be honest, I think the Scientologists are lying about this, but this is what they're saying to each other.
We'll play part of it because this is like one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
Kirk and the incredibly strange, very intriguing mystery surrounding her.
Oh,
and when you hear Erica Kirk, you probably think of the Erica Kirk on the left there, who was everywhere. She was the wife of Charlie Kirk, who was recently assassinated. She's been all over the news for the past couple months, but we're going to be focused this video on this Erica Kirk, who is a completely different person. This Erica Kirk was First Lady of Florida in the 1960s and 70s, and she was married to the Florida governor, whose name was Claude Kirk. And this Claude Kirk was basically just a total animal, just this really larger-than-life type guy who was governor of Florida from 1967 to 1971, and was even mentioned as a vice presidential and even a presidential candidate.
Wow.
And this is just insanely weird.
Wait, pause it.
There's no other way to put it, because as you...
She was from Brazil, the 1975 one, and but she was German. They were Germans who had immigrated to Brazil around the time of the book, The Boys from Brazil. You ever hear that?
Yeah.
About how they were cloning Hitlers and shit?
Yeah, because didn't the Nazis start moving to South America and all those different countries down there?
Oh my, yes. And anyway, it's real strange. But if you fast forward it, I want to show you the Epcot thing, because that's the thing. You realize there's like nothing new. Everything's already happened. Is it Disney?
Did I pass it?
Maybe. Keep going. There's a thing where, Epcot Center?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was supposed to be a 15-minute city, dude.
Really?
Yeah. And Disney died, but he's going to have 20,000 people live there. Let's see.
I don't see. Maybe I passed it.
Yeah. Where is it? Let's see. I could have sworn it was in part 2.
Maybe it's in the other video then.
Oh, maybe. Isn't that bizarre, dude?
This is nuts. But you know what? You know what's even crazier is the fact that there's a movie made by Hollywood about a guy named Charles Kirkland who gets killed by getting shot in the neck.
Well,
and it's a patsy.
Charles Kirk. If his name was Charlie Kirk, I would be more impressed, because that's not like the craziest name to come up with. And also,
what do you mean, Charles Kirkland? It's right there. It's in the name.
Yeah, Kirkland. But wait. Here's the thing. Brian De Palma is from the JFK generation, and just so you know, every single assassination has worked the same goddamn way. So you don't have to predict. You could just go look at how they do all of them, and one in public is a message to the masses. That's what Charlie Kirk's was. There's 5.
Okay.
I've seen 4 or 5 plausible explanations of who shot him. That wasn't that furry that they said, which obviously it wasn't. But that's the point. They know the people that do that know that there's cameras everywhere. They know that. They're planning for it. That's why they have crisis actors. That's why if that guy go, I shot him. The guy shows up at all the things. That old man, remember him?
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Because they're planning ahead for everyone to argue about how it happened. And here's the point. Good. Feel suspicious, motherfucker. What are you going to do? Nothing. There's 5 explanations and you'll never get the real one. And the FBI's in on it. So what are you going to do about it?
I found the Epcot thing right here.
Oh, good. Yeah, please show that. That's what's wild to me. I just saw it. So Andy does good shit, man. I'm telling you.
The hell's this?
And this into law. And the reason I find this really, really interesting has to do with Epcot. So most people know Epcot as this big silver ball, but Epcot is really fascinating because it was originally envisioned by Walt Disney as a city with 20,000 permanent residents. And Epcot actually stands for Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow. And this is what Walt Disney envisioned the original Epcot city looking like. So it was way more initially than just some big silver ball.
It's going to be the same as a 15-minute city. They're just like that.
City. And really what Epcot City was initially was basically the first 15-minute city.
Wow. Yeah.
If you read about what the plans for Epcot were, it is literally identical to these 15-minute cities that are always in the news.
A nice Atlantis.
It's a big controversial issue. Yeah. There's all these articles about the 15-minute cities. A lot of people oppose them because they think it's like a New World Order type thing where the government would have total surveillance and total control of the people who live in these 15-minute cities. And literally, this is exactly what Epcot City was originally envisioned as. It was going to be a city with 20,000 people where the city just had all this control over the people who lived there. As you can see in this first highlight here, it says no one living in Epcot would own their own land or home, so no one would have municipal voting rights. So you wouldn't own anything. It would all be owned by Disney, and you wouldn't have voting rights on local issues. And this second highlight here says all adults living in Epcot would be employed, thereby preventing the formation of slums and ghettos. Everyone would be required to have a job. And the plan was for all these people living in Epcot to all work at Disney World just a short distance away.
Of course.
So they wouldn't need cars. And it was said this Epcot planned community was basically Walt Disney's dream. And then he died shortly before work began on Disney World.
That's crazy.
And when he died, the plan for Epcot died as well. But it's really interesting that Claude Kirk is the one who signed this Reedy Creek Development Act into law that let Disney form this city and gave them all this power within the city. And had Walt Disney not passed away, these plans to build this Epcot city, they would have happened.
Wow.
And Disney World being built during Claude Kirk's tenure as Florida governor is interesting because there's a lot of weird stuff with Disney World. There's this secretive Club 33. 33 is a Masonic number. The 33rd degree is the highest level of Freemasonry. And Roy Disney, who took over the construction of Disney World after Walt Disney died, Roy Disney was a 33rd degree Freemason. There's
wait, pause
network.
Pause it. Did you see what it said? He was a member of, go back a little bit. It said Mole, as in Jacques de Molay. He was also a member of De Molay, a youth organization.
Wow, related to Freemasonry.
Oh my, what a very strange.
I gotta subscribe to this channel for sure.
Yeah, dude, he's got killer things, and so because I'm just trying to grab little puzzle pieces, you know. So Sean Atwood, and I'm gonna try to get this girl on too, the one that says she's Epstein's niece, because she's dropped this nugget that, and maybe it's not true, but I think it is true. His real name's Artur Beek, Bicke. That's Disney's real name, and and unrelated to what she said. Oh, and he had a sister named Minnie that he would do stuff with.
Yeah, you're showing me that one video from who was that again?
Tracy Twyman. So unrelated to what this girl's saying. Tracy Twyman has a whole research on that whole thing of where Mickey Mouse came from, and he's in a cartoon pimping out his sister. Yeah, real.
And the word mouse in German has like this word that means like sword or something like that, and it's initiation.
Well, it's the name sounds like the woman singing Mac the Knife in German, Mackie Messer. The way she says
and
it
then
sounds
the girl
like Mickey
drinks
Mouse.
the moose. She has like a ice cream mousse,
Oh, that's
and it makes her. It's got drugs in it. That's how she gets like, you know what I mean?
It's
a whole this rabbit.
Wait, what's the movie? We would say the name of the movie. I'm blanking. Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah.
Rosemary's Baby. Minnie, who has her handkerchief up, she looks like Minnie's fucking do-rag, and she keeps calling the moose a mouse. And the reason is that's that double talk that wizards use.
Yeah, double entendre, they call it.
Yeah, like Mayweather, and so they call it being bitten by a mouse or being slipped a Mickey. You know, Mickey Mouse is the ultimate drugging your children. That's what I take from it. I never liked Mickey Mouse. I liked Looney Tunes when I was a kid. Didn't really. Isn't
Sinatra have a nickname of Mickey or something like that?
Oh, I don't know, but she has a great thing on him because his mom's nickname was the pin, the hat pin something. I don't think it's in there, but remember the ant people story in South America where they go and they show them gray head aliens and they go, oh, they don't know what aliens are, but they go, oh, that's the ant people. Okay. The Hopi have this story. I want to say Yamamano, whatever some Brazil thing. And but Jay, he told a really good version of that I never heard. Okay. Huh. It was somewhere in Brazil. They showed him the picture. Oh yeah, it's the ant people. Yeah. After there's a cataclysm, whatever, they go on the ground, they'll come out and then they'll give you stuff, but like, do not trust them. I don't remember that part of the story. Don't trust them. They hide underground when the earth is fucked. They come out and give you tech. And I was like, does that not sound like the entire tech industry to you? All those tech fucks are building bunkers, their own dumbs under their goddamn house. And they're offering you all this bullshit tech like it's great. By the way, you better have $10 million if you want to think you're middle class. And that's low middle class. Just, the middle class is 50 million. The 50 million you get for sucking Clive Davis's dick or whatever the Diddy gives you for fucking running up in you, that and your Lamborghini you get, that 50 million, that's to be middle class. And if you demonstrate you're cool from there, you could get more. Okay? And a lot of people take it and they don't even know what the fuck they're doing. Are you waiting for disclosure for a thing that you already know? What do you, can I call people cow more than I do? I don't think I can. You already know. It's all out there. There's nothing to disclose.
So in here, it says too, this is the thing that blew me away. The other thing that I'm sure about is that they knew about gravity waves like a long time ago, right? So, but publicly, LIGO first detected gravity waves in 2015, publicly. I found a guy that won a Lifetime Achievement Award for human-made gravity waves in 2011, so the timing doesn't really make a lot of sense. But the crazy part is this. The director of LIGO, which would be find out later, they were at this conference. And the people that won the Nobel Prize in 2017 for gravity waves, they were also at this conference. That was all a big sham because the people behind the scenes knew about that ahead of time. So they're basically giving away Nobel Prizes. Okay, it's your turn to win.
Oh, you don't say. Oh, wait a minute. Are you telling me? Dude, I used to write for the Video Game Awards every year.
Oh, did you? That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, back until I was like 5 years in a row, from like 2005 to something. Mm-hmm. And so I wrote for a bunch of award shows actually. But if you never wrote for them before, you don't realize till you are there that what a complete bullshit awards are. And by the way, those are like respected by gamers.
It's all self-congratulatory bullshit, right? Thank you. I talk about teleporting airplanes, so we're kind of.
Don Lemon said, "Did it go in a black hole?" And everybody said, "Shut up, idiot!" But did it? Number one, anybody who's still doing this thing, because I used to Jesse show, and people, dude, you understand? There's a level of like. Now I know why these dumbass secret societies have to initiate you in levels, because you can't just tell rich people the truth like that. You could tell poor people the truth. You could blurt the truth out to poor people. But middle and upper class, you got to walk them through the steps of dealing with the fact that it's not what they thought it was.
Yeah.
But he said some dumb shit about Rogan that he's a honey trap. What does that even mean, Jack? Joe fuck them? It's nonsense. But up and down the chain, people are lied to, so you got to take that into account. And you can't just everybody with their little personal dumb shit in the space. I never use those terms. Mm-hmm. I'm not an idiot. Okay. Everybody in this space, your little personal agreement. No one cares about your high school problems, everyone. Mm-hmm. It's a huge, they just told you Epstein was nothing to see here. I think they classified a whole area of physics for 80 years, just like Mark Andreessen, even though he's a demonic liar. I think he wasn't lying about that when he was talking to Barry Weiss. They told him, don't get into AI because we're going to allow a few people to do it. So, and he goes, well, you can't. It's a whole technology. He goes, we classified a whole area for 80 years.
What do you think
to me, that is
What do you think they classified?
If I had to guess, the goofy shit you could do with plasma.
Yeah, I think that's a good guess. I mean, what they classified is fusion, right? Like, if you think back to it, I think it was Tucker Carlson on Joe Rogan was the first one who was talking about the Manhattan Project being connected to UFOs because there's all these lore about shutting down the nukes or what have you. Well, one of the things that I found when I started digging into suppressed technology is, well, fusion's been suppressed. Like, these people have figured out fusion, and you go, oh, well, you start reading the textbooks about nukes and thermonuclear weapons, and right there on page 1 of this Project Paperclip scientist textbook about nukes, Freidwart Winterberg says they classified inertial electrostatic confined fusion because of its connection to the H-bomb. Right on the page 1.
Yeah,
page 1,
and
Kurt.
what that means is so I mean, so I can look at whatever the fuck I want, and as far as experts and all that shit. That left with COVID, dipshits. Remember when all the experts said to get your booster and wear a mask, and wearing a mask is fake and didn't work ever? Yep. Oh, did anybody bother to go back? Oh, that's right. You don't do your own research. So don't tell me about fucking science, bitch. Anybody that, what do you do your own research? Yeah, go fucking, I don't know, change your gender or some shit. Fuck you. So I don't care about respectability. Think of everyone you know. It's fascism's coming. No, Obama signed it in, you fucking morons. You haven't had a democracy. It's a lot to take in. It really is. And
let's talk about Obama real quick, because Obama was the one who had to be in charge of them zapping that plane. Like, in those MH370 videos, people always come at me about aliens. It's not fucking aliens. We're literally recording those with 2 drones, one drone above the plane, one drone. It's not because we're like, oh, we're randomly recording this plane with these drones while the alien orbs came out. No, it's our technology. We're zapping the plane. But what that means is that Obama...
not ours. No, it's not ours. Certain people's. See, that's the thing. The oligarchs are in charge. Don't worry. Don't worry. The oligarchs own it.
It's Lockheed Martin. I've got it basically nailed down. It's pretty much got to be Lockheed Martin's compact fusion reactor. And it turns out they've got jets on them so they can use it as propulsion to fly around. But the point being, all of Obama's entire administration is implicated. And there's a video of you when you were on Rogan, you were just railing on them. And it was funny because you were hitting everyone that I'm talking about. It's like John
I'm on a news show, so I know they're scum. I'm on Jimmy Dore show. We don't talk about aliens on that. But but then when I watch UFO shit, I see John Brennan. That guy, I mean, I'm sure John Brennan is going to come clean.
And CIA director.
This happens in every area of media, dude. It happens in comedy. It happens once you get invited to some parties, you want to keep going to parties. Okay. And I like going to parties. It's pretty cool. You know, I used to go to P. Diddy Brown parties, and no, I didn't do that. Come on.
There's a lot of baby oil at those parties.
But you're trained to, like, every aspect of society is to tell you that all the validation is coming from outside. Okay, so if you just want a summary of what the plot is against you by your fucking lizard overlords, I don't know that they're lizards, but they are, though. But, like, even if they're not, they are. They're all about eugenics and evolution. I'm not commenting on if that's real or fake. I don't care. I'm talking about the feeling of that Olympic spirit. You know the Olympics? Why do we have those? A eugenics festival.
I mean, I stopped watching a long time ago, but yeah. To make us feel good.
But that's a eugenics contest. And you hear all the dirty shit that goes on, right? Yeah.
And this is what I love, is that you made this point on a space that I was on with you for a little bit a while back, where you said that, like, it's all out there. And this is what I've been telling people too, is like, I tell people it's hiding in plain sight.
That's what the occult calls it.
No one looks. No one looks. Dude. Like, literally all I had to do is open page 1 of a Project Paperclip scientist textbook on nukes, and it says it right there on page 1.
Yeah, and let me tell you how you're double fucked, okay? Because that's also a legal thing. Because these weird fucking, I don't know what the fuck they are, Satan people. They're very legalistic. They're very into law. So that's why all the politicians go to law school, but they're not lawyers. They don't practice law. They're there to learn the law, to break the law, so they can run the government like a gangster. That's what they do. It sounds like space Nazis a little bit, doesn't it? Now think about the alien stories you hear.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask
you
you
about. We make a deal with aliens, these tall whites or with the grays.
The thick whites. the thing.
You make a deal to get technology, and then the deal isn't what they said it would be. It sounds like space Nazis a little bit, doesn't it?
I would sexually assault you too. I don't know if you've noticed that. There's common thread.
And that's why I say my cuckoo theory that these are interdimensional trillionaires who transition. They transhumaned, but they can never detrans. And now they want what you got. See, you got a silver cord or whatever they call it. You know, I hate gay wizard terms, but I'm telling you what it is. You still have a connection to the creator, right? Which to me is what 0 point energy is. See, there's a heat death of the universe, right? And these reptile scumbags, just the way they do with stocks and shit. So now imagine you're some deviant fucking trillionaire that found a way to unstick yourself out of the three-dimensional time we experience, and you're gross now. And by the way, all it amounts to be immortal if you're a secular materialist on Earth. You'd be like, I'd be a vampire, dude. I'd jump in the sun. It's like if you could only play Grand Theft Auto, like whatever, like 2 generations old Grand Theft Auto is, which is fun at first, but then you can never play a new game. You can only
just end it. You're just done.
What would you do? You'd start griefing, they call it in games, right? You grief people. Internet trolls, what are they doing? They inject you with some poison to try to draw a reaction from you. And if you give it to them, they're feeding. That sounds like lizard people to me. Don't it sound like all that loose talk?
Energy vampires.
Have you had it read your mind, your phone yet?
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't even, okay, this never happened to me, but I have remote headphones. If you have like the cord ones. So how is it doing that? Because a lot of people have had that happen. They think of the thing and it pops up on their phone. I've had the talking about something and it popped up.
Yep.
That's been around a while.
Yes, that's been around a while.
But a bunch of people like, I think you read, so you know about the mind reading headphones? You've ever seen that presentation?
No.
Okay, put it in
mind reading headphones?
WEF mind reading headphones.
The World Economic Forum came out with these?
Okay, this is from a long time ago, man. And that's the thing when I try to tell, I almost never get to my crazy ideas.
Really? You don't?
Because like this the shit that's normal Earth news. Nobody knows it. And also it's so crazy you think you're like, there's no way that you're telling me the truth. Okay.
Here we go. Mind reading.
Wait, but don't go from NBC. It's a thing on I know it was on YouTube, and there's a chick. What's her fucking name?
Oh, is it Millie Niles?
Here, let me put it in. You just edit out the looking for stuff parts.
That's all right. People like watching you do that, Kurt.
Oh, wait. This might be it.
Brain transparency.
I'm sorry. It's called brain.
At the World Economic
I brought this up on several things, okay? Right, and nobody seems to remember it or know about it. But I want just like
on the YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you make it big and wait, go into.
I wonder if the World Economic Forum will copyright strike us for this.
Dude.
All right, let's play it.
All right.
It's 30 minutes. Is there a specific spot?
Get to the animation part. So there's the chick.
All right, let's pause it.
Oh, here it is. It's going to be right in the beginning.
Oh yeah, right.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, it's right at the beginning.
Okay.
Excited. So first off, the video. It's going to make you
full screen
see the future and understand a wonderful future where we can use brainwaves to fight crime, be more productive, and find love.
Fight crime, be more productive, and find love.
And maybe find love.
You can't believe how productive you've been. Your memo is finished, your inbox is under control, and you're feeling sharper than you have in a decade. Sensing your joy, your playlist shifts to your favorite song, sending chills up your spine as the music begins to play. You glance at the program running in the background on your computer screen and notice a now familiar sight that appears whenever you're overloaded with pleasure. Decreasing in the temporal regions of your brain. You mentally move the cursor to the left and scroll through your brain data over the past few hours. You can see your stress levels rising as the deadline to finish your memo approached, causing a peak in your beta brainwave activity right before an alert popped up, telling you to take a brain break. But what's that unusual change in your brain activity when you're asleep? It started earlier in the month. You sent a text message to your doctor with a mental swipe of your cursor. Could you take a quick look at my brain data?
Get out of here.
Your mind starts to wander.
The cartoons are killing me.
Whom you know you shouldn't be daydreaming about, given the policy against intra-office romance.
Oh my God.
You can't help fantasizing just a little. But then you start to worry that your boss will notice your amorous feelings when she checks your brain activity and shift your attention back to the present.
My
You
God.
breathe a sigh of relief when the email she sends you later that day which earns you another performance.
Nice! Get your mind right.
With your work issue,
Wait, it gets better.
Still in.
The future is even brighter than that.
When you arrive at work the next day, a somber cloud has fallen over the office. Along with emails, text messages, and GPS location data, the government has subpoenaed employees' brainwave data from the past year. They have compelling evidence that one of your coworkers has committed massive wire fraud. Now, they're looking for his co-conspirators. You discover they are looking for synchronized brain activity and the people he has been working with. While you know you're innocent of any crime, you've been secretly working with him on a new startup venture. Shaking, you remove your earbuds.
No, wait, watch when it comes back.
The battle for
Watch.
your brain.
Look at him giggling.
Is it a future you're ready for?
Look, they all go, no, what the fuck? Dude, this is Davos. They go, no?
I didn't hear him go, no. That sounded like an uh-huh.
Everything in that video that you just saw is based on technology that is already here today.
There you go. Press pause.
Artificial intelligence.
Go back. Go back. Well, Obama had a threat. Yo, okay, make it small. And I want to just show you the date when this came out. So when I first saw this, when it first came on.
Oh my God.
I think it's from like 2018, dude. When I first saw it, it was like
2 years ago.
Yeah, so
either way.
Like Watchmen, when he goes like, I did my plan while you were talking. That's what it is. They did the plan while you. So Transformation of America. So Kathy O'Brien said this in her book, and that jag-off you had on. I'll send you the clip of the guy talking. He goes, and it isn't true. Are you sure, young fella? At the time, they were talking about doing this. Reagan was talking about it, and she said, both her and what's the other chick's name? Kathy, not Kathy. Kay Griggs. Watching the Kay Griggs. Her husband, Colonel Griggs, had some diary of all the foul shit they were doing. And Kay Griggs sums up best. She goes, I thought they were all like Christian men running them, but they're all like German existentialists.
German existentialists?
That's what she called the people who rule everything, German existentialists, which I think is the best way to put it. The worst thing that you could ever hope to have in charge of you is German
existentialists.
Just they're going to shit on you. I mean, I don't even have to tell you.
It's
anyway,
like some Operation Paperclip type shit.
Everyone says this. Their tech of the government is like 60 years ahead of what you get. Okay, conservative estimate.
We talked about that in here.
That thing about moving your cursor with your mind in that video.
They already have it.
Dude, when I was selling computers in the 90s, they were talking about already having that. It just didn't come out.
Yeah, Annie Jacobson wrote in her book about DARPA that they were trying to telepathically talk with dolphins in like 1991.
Yeah, well, they were giving him hand jobs, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, well, that too, apparently.
That's what, dude, that fucking Dolphin House creep. Watch J.R. Sweet talk about it. There's this MormonMonarch.org. I would tell you to go read that guy's.
MormonMonarch.org.
They had
Lebanon.
Sorry, Lebanon.
Yeah.
That's correct, Lebanon.
He's like, when you're holding that phone, you're holding a piece of Israel.
Did he say that?
Yeah, that's what he said, word for word. He goes, that cell phone in your hand is a piece of Israel.
Wait, what was the context of that?
It was during that same speech where he was talking about
that's great.
the pagers.
Well, I do treat my phone as if it were sacred. That's fair. He's pretty fair about
Promise
that.
to you
Hey, when the guy's right, when the guy's right, he's right. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, here it is. And then let's play it, Deef. And then dude, Deef is fucking on it.
Phones? You have cell phones here? No. You're holding a piece of Israel right there. You know that? I mean, a lot of the cell phones, the medicines, the food, you eat cherry tomatoes. You know where that
Israel. Right here.
No, Israel is isolated. Israel can't break out of the...
All right, let's pause it, Deef.
Hold
on, Kurt. Let me make a quick note. If you didn't hear a video just now, that's because that music in the background, that video is copyrighted, but it's Netanyahu saying that cell phone in your hand, you're holding a piece of Israel, and cherry tomatoes, you're holding a piece of Israel.
A lot of the remote control plane technology. All kinds of things.
How about the VPNs? They own like 8 of them.
Really?
Yeah, they just bought.
Don't tell me they own Nord. No. Wait, don't tell me my Free Palestine OnlyFans in some way.
Nord. I think they do. Can we check it? Is it owned by an Israeli company?
Yeah, so when, like in Jogo, this is a simulation. When people say this is a simulation, I don't know if they're thinking it's the Star Trek holodeck. Like, I think it is, but not like a holodeck situation. The simulation is just pure hypnosis. Like, imagine like everybody watch, I don't know, we're in like Egypt or something, or I'm doing a hypnosis show and I hypnotize the crowd and I tell you it's 20 years in the past. And so with hypnosis, some people are super suggestible and it's hereditary. That's what they learned. That's why they study DNA, to see who's got upper class genes, which means they can hypnotize you easier. That's the mark of good breeding, being suggestible. Okay. If there's some people that are going to believe it and act like it's real, some people are going to not believe it, but they're going to see that the rest of the herd is going for it. And they're going to go, I'm not going to be against everyone. I'll just go along and maybe I'll move up in the system. Right. And some people aren't going to play, and they're a minority of people. They're like, what, this is insane. And you've seen this over and over and over and over. Okay.
And you come up with a term to like push them away, conspiracy theorist or whatever it is.
Well, yeah, but the main thing is, I hypnotize most of you think you live 20 years in the past. Okay, so what is that, like 2005? So you're like making edgy jokes, skateboarding all over the place. whatever they were doing back then, watching Girls Gone Wild on your VHS.
How'd you know? I'm kidding.
Okay, and everybody's doing that, right? And then, you know, at the end of the show, when they go, now I'll bring you back, but I don't bring you back. I just leave you like that.
Right.
I just leave you like that for like thousands of years, always 20 years behind, hypnotized. And all I did was initially put the thing and never break the trance, and then keep it up, that beach ball up. So did I travel to the future? Because you think you live 20 years behind? It's all perception. Yeah. That's what they mastered. All this secret shit that you go to a mystery school, you're the J.J. Abrams mystery box. This is almost directly like from Scientology or Freemasonry or any of these things, or like an old Doctor Who episode they went because someone sent their DNA back and some lizards were trying to, dude, I think they've rerun this shit a lot, and I think it's not going how they want. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think we might have looked like something different maybe in another revision, and it's way deeper than Berenstein versus Berenstain Bears. It's the thing that's real, and you're getting... And there's still probably visions of it. And it's in a bunch of like fiction and whatever, but there's a theme of like some shit left over from the old times, right?
Yeah, I think it's very complicated, very complex. And I don't think, normal mouth breathers like me are really going to understand it and have access to all of the information about what's really going on. No. But what is clear to me is that they are suppressing the truth. They're sort of suppressing our consciousness to keep us sort of tied into this Roman bread and circus 3-dimensional reality, arguing about NFL and politics and stuff. Because
somebody messaged in my Lazarus, so the circus is boring and the bread is stale. That bottom line, I'm like, oh, this is stale. I'm not smart. The bread is stale and the circus is boring. Couldn't put it better myself. So I guess your shitbag lizard kids don't run the projector as good as the old lizards did,
Yeah, it could be. But I think that if they could, they think they're very, very close with this AI singularity thing coming. They think they're very close to achieving this final goal of uploading digital consciousness into the universe. And
Kurt, do you think we're on a trajectory in a positive way or a negative way? Do you think we're continuing to be in this matrix, or?
I think you can't put toothpaste back in the tube. So once a few things start to leak out, it's inevitable. That's why even if you have a redacted Kennedy thing, like the people that are really smart that are going to go over it are going to find all the connections and make them. I think everything's been disclosed, but you didn't know. That's what I think. Because that's part of that religion. It's like a iTunes disclaimer that nobody reads. They've told you everything, but you have to find it. And a bunch of people have snitched on what happened to them. Some people are crazy and some people are liars and disinformation. So you have to look at everything, but it starts to become apparent if you look at enough stuff. I'll just hear you out. I just want to hear something interesting that I never heard before. That's all. Yeah. If I'm bored, I know you're lying to me because I've heard that lie before. If I'm not bored, Maybe you told me a new lie. Maybe you told me something true. I'm looking at so much stuff. I'm going to cross-check that anyway. You know, and it's absolutely, you can figure this stuff out. You absolutely can. All the secret space program stories that they have to now fight in other dimensions, the AI that they made. Do you know that? I'm not talking about the blue avian guy with the whatever. Because
Corey Good.
Now, look, there's absolutely a secret space program. I'm not saying it's all the Star Wars adventures that you might hear about with it, but there's a military space program. That's why Space Force was consolidated, right? Because all this stuff is in different departments that compete and blah, blah, blah. And it's also, I'm sure, some deep occult significance of some kind, you know? There's that Collins Elite book about how they were fundamentalist Christians that were using the aliens to assault. They don't sound like Christians. They sound like scumbag witches. That's what witches do. They contact non-human entities to try to kill people with them. I know that's not a Christian practice.
Are you talking about the Nick Redfern book, Final Events? Okay, all right. I didn't know if there was another book because there's not a lot of information about this. I talk about the Collins Elite in the book, but there's not a ton of info.
Well, the Collins, that's a bloodline name.
Yeah,
Barnabas Collins, the vampire from Dark
Shadows. That's a good point. Yeah.
The Collins, I think, are the first. They pride themselves on being the first witches in the New World or something. But anyway, I'm sure they framed people who weren't witches for witchcraft and got away with witchcraft the way it's done. And so Collins Elite, the name Collins immediately should trigger something of like, well, that's weird. You don't act like Christians and your name is Collins. And then it's this George W. Bush they've teamed up with also in the book, correct? And they realize the only way to fight these demon aliens is to follow the Torah. Well, then now you definitely don't sound like Christians. You sound like some weird Kabbalist Fruit Loop group that the same as what America is built on. Stupid shit like IHOP and all those other fucking CIA, PSYOP, creepy ass Kabbalah religions. That's what controls you. It's not just the Jews. It's not just, don't blame any one group because the groups they're all in multiple groups. They're all in multiple groups. Like to get into a good college, a good invisible college, you got to be in all the clubs, right?
Yeah.
It is believed to be the present age, which is full of conflict and sin.
Okay, so very important.
Most people throw this term around a lot. So let's pull it up. Kali Yuga in Hinduism is the fourth shortest and worst of the four world ages in a Yuga cycle, preceded by the Dvapara Yuga and followed by the next cycle, Krita Yuga. It is believed to be the present age, which is full of conflict and sin.
Okay, so very important. So whenever Kabbalah first just pops up in history, in like 1100 in Europe, that is probably what they got from the Holy Land, that Kabbalah.
Yes,
which is a method of my brain repatterning. Really, is what it is. The map, the life tree.
Yeah,
that's to map out mind palace kind of when you mind control someone. But the main thing was Sabbatai Sevi, and he was championed by Nathan of Gaza, who was like a very young, like boy genius Einstein of Kabbalah. And I'll tell you, I just looked at clips of Alex Jones from 5 years ago on Rogan's show. And most of the stuff he said is what I think now. Yeah. And I heard it back then and thought it was very stupid. And the thing is, it took me 5 years of looking up just to get to the point where the thing he blurted out manically, oh, that's what it is. Because you could never just tell somebody what the truth. It's so insane. It's so insane. And I'm not saying I know the whole story, but the stuff that I pieced together of it, I can see why it's going to be hard to have a disclosure. Because it ain't just like, you're going to have to rethink all these terms. The extra dimensional or if what. Nobody knows what the fuck they're even talking about, dude. Nobody even knows what anything is. All the terms that we made up for stuff are like little mental prisons that are going to, like, have you noticed the amount of this stuff coming out?
Well, there's a lot of people who think that the aliens are demons. And
what's a demon? What is that? What is a demon?
It might be an alien. We don't know.
Like these are all just like terms everybody made, and everyone's you get programmed young. The human nature is programmability. That's what the Anton LaVey Church of Satan teaches. That human nature is. Did you know that? That's the big secret. Which are right. It's programmability. So that means the program is coming from every part of the environment, but they know how. They've studied this, how to program people, and it goes back to Egypt. But where did they get Here's the question to me: is like, where did you learn how to program people initially? So where'd that come from? I just want to hear the data.
I think it's like we're looking at a transdimensional angels and demons. Basically, that's the short version. Angels and demons, and you can see the history of the occult and contact with these entities for forever. And I think it's just like we were talking about this whole show. It's the same stuff over and over. It's the same patterns over and over. And the new one is AI, which could be very well entities that are trapped, watcher spirits that are trapped in this other dimension, and they want to download into a human body, and they're trying to get us to sort of facilitate that transfer.
Well, when they say they got stagnant DNA and DNA, their DNA is stagnant. They always talk about, how would your DNA be stagnant in a 3-dimensional reality? It wouldn't be. Evolution is change over time, or like entropy, right? Am I getting any of this wrong? If you're 5-dimensional and timeless, then that's stagnant. That means you don't have entropy. You have this, you're locked in. And let's say you're let's just say something wacky. That you're some Nazi occultist piece of shit that figured out some warp thing, and you sent a bunch of blue-eyed blondies to Aldebaran, 50 million light years away. So that means now, by the time they get there, they existed before we exist, because that's just how it works. And now, because they're in the past and they can travel faster than light, they can just come and seed the earth with their DNA and then go, well, the good people are the Indo-Aryans who blah, blah, blah. And I've heard people say references in the Wilder stories about Illuminati guys sending their DNA back, or like an old Doctor Who episode, they went because someone sent their DNA back and some lizards were trying to, dude, I think they've rerun this a lot, and I think it's not going. Right. Is that what the strange fire is? Have you ever heard the term the strange fire? And is that what that's supposed to be? Because it's like,
I don't think I've heard that. What does that refer to?
These people that make pacts with, let's call them NHI, they're inspired by the strange fire, and it's the same thing that when you see movies that imprint on you, you get programmed your whole life to be like, ooh, cool, and then maybe replicate things. I look at it as like a bunch of, in a disreputable foie gras factory, not a good one, where they do have the geese like that, and that's us, and they just pour poison in us, and then some of us lay golden eggs sometimes.
And so, again, like this whole thing with Anne Heche, it's like they kept her alive long enough so they could make it right up to that ritual day, which is, again, the opening of the Hecataionides. Now, why is that important? Because on the 14th, which is the first day of the Hecataionides in the ancient world, that's when they started carving her up and sending her organs all over the place.
What month?
Now, August.
Okay.
August. So in the ancient world, people don't understand how screwed up paganism was.
No, they don't. Yeah, dude, I was just talking to somebody about that. They always make you feel bad for the Aztecs when you hear about growing up, and you realize it's not just the Spanish and, I bash Catholics quite a lot, but I wouldn't put it all on them, because a bunch of other native tribes who didn't appreciate having their hearts cut out.
Thousands at a time, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's so creepy.
Yeah, and, Thomas Jane, who was her ex-boyfriend, had said to the press, she's going to be fine. She's doing all right. She's going to make it. And when I looked at, now here's the other thing, Kurt, I looked at the autopsy report, and her injuries did not look fatal in any way, shape, or form. I mean, they said she was badly burnt. Well, she had patches on her upper extremities.
In the video, she didn't look very, very badly burned. I have to say.
She wasn't. She had patches of second-degree burns, which is kind of miraculous, to be honest with you, because she was sitting in a burning car for 49 minutes. Right. Well,
dude, I didn't know that detail until you just said it now. That's the craziest thing. That's wild, man.
It's incredibly disturbing. It's incredibly disturbing. And then the fact that, the house she crashes into, the woman looks uncannily like her, and also had 2 dogs, right? So Hecate in the ancient depiction is, you always see 2 dogs and a torch, right? So I started looking into it, and since a lot of what I do is I look a lot at like ancient ritual calendar and festivals and all these kind of things, and I noticed that all these points in the story sort of lined up with, what they call the dog days, Sirius, the heliacal rising of Sirius, but also runs into what's called the Hecatean Ides, which is an ancient witchcraft festival to the goddess Hecate. And that, when they started carving her up, that was like the first day of the Hecatean Ides. And in the ancient world, these people
carving who up? Sorry. What did you say? When they started carving?
When they carved Aunt Hesia up.
Oh, after they. Okay, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, like, you know, we're hearing these stories like she was going to make it, and she was in stable condition, and all these kind of things, and all of a sudden she's dead, and everything just didn't add up to me. Everything just seemed askew, and when you see that, there's always a cover up. There's always something else going on. And then when I think the thing that really broke through with me when I watched that video of like she's strapped to this gurney, and then she kind of rises out of it. But it wasn't even that. I mean, that's bad enough. But just the way that these firefighters were just manhandling her, and she was clearly afraid. She was clearly trying to get away, and
they're not calming her. They're not. They're like, get back in the bag, but they're not like, oh, it's okay, you're gonna be fine.
Like, did they think she was dead? And the other thing too is that they left her in the car for 49 minutes, which I just can't even wrap my head around.
What? I didn't know that.
Yes, she was in a burning car inside that house for 49 minutes, which is just absolutely unconscionable.
And the best part of being a Satanist, you don't gotta believe in shit. Okay, believe in you. I just want you to be more of who you are.
I think that's a little bit of a con. You know, I think they are.
That's the war. I'm not saying
spiritual. I think they're spiritual. I think this whole idea, like, oh, we don't really believe in Satan. We believe in ourselves and our highest holy days, our birthdays. I think that's all complete nonsense.
Well, how could it, dude? When I said last time when I thought I might be an atheist, I didn't dress up in a fucking Widow's Peak devil outfit and worship a goat head. You know, I just like live my. Hey, can we just fuck? Do I got to do a whole thing? You know, like it doesn't make sense. You wouldn't do that unless you believed in it. You wouldn't do that shit. And if you're doing it, you don't believe in it, but you want to just put it on me. You're worse. You're worse.
Yeah, I hate all that stuff. You know, speaking of Kenneth Anger, I'd actually interviewed him like 20 years ago because I'd done this. I actually did a big article on Lucifer Rising, and I interviewed Bobby Beausoleil of the Manson family and Kenneth Anger, and then there's somebody else interviewed Jimmy Page over in England.
Donald Smead says cattle mutilation was for three things: Satanism, to scare the curious away from nuked areas, and to test fast-growing tissue for radiation poisoning. Oh, that's interesting. I would just file those under Satan. Just means the adversary. It's a position. It's not the name of the guy who is. It's a position.
It's the empire. So, if you read the Gospels, every time they're talking about Satan in the Gospels in the New Testament, it's referring to the state. You know, it's referring to the occupying powers. Yeah, the empire.
I had to read the Bible a lot growing up, like 20 times, not because I wanted to. And but when they say, oh, Satan will take over the world, no, the world belongs to Satan. They're like, well, I don't believe in God because the world's like this. You don't live in God's world, motherfucker. I'm just telling you the lore of the book. You live in Satan's world. That's why he offered the kingdoms to Christ in the story.
Exactly.
Because it's not yours. It belongs to the dragon. And that's why all these gross people, you know, De Vere's sad, but King Charles traces his lineage to a dragon, and Muhammad and Dracula. And these bloodlines have losers too. And, you know, because they're so dragony, they believe in Game of Thrones logic, which is like, if you're weak, you should die in the street, right? These drug people, when I see a new thing I haven't seen yet, it scares me. So, like, you think you know how drug people are, but then if you're around them, and Hunter S. Thompson said you can never turn your back on a drug, right? But I'm like, what's adrenochrome? And at the time, this is before, like, you know, you'd go to that, all the druggies had a book of like pharmacy things to test to see, you know, and I couldn't find really anything on it other than it was something study as a cure, something with schizophrenia. It's a precursor to mescaline from adrenaline. Later, I looked it up and they were like, oh, it's made up. Okay. No, it's not, but they're drinking adrenalized blood out of people that they're terrorizing and torturing. So that's an old native practice, right? Then I hear that in World War II, they didn't have enough morphine or something. Some enterprising medic was taking out adrenal fluid and using it, or something where the blood that had morphine in it from somebody else, he would put in somebody. You ever heard anything like that? The three doctors that were experimenting, and Aldous Huxley came to visit one of the doctors, and they described that the dude, they were injecting it, actual adrenochrome, not, you know, a made up thing. There's a thing called that. It's a thing I'm curious about because I heard about that from Hunter S. Thompson, but the doctors that studied it and I have to go research all these names, off the, because I couldn't find anything. Then I found something, and so I haven't fully gone into the veracity of it. But the doctor said he felt, everything got like colorful, and then he felt just like a lack of. He felt more empathy to like lamps and the rug and shit than to his sister, while he was under the effects. Like he'd be fascinated with objects and people he couldn't. Like, well, that's a scary thing. I never heard of a psychedelic doing that to someone. That sounds creepy. They don't go, I don't feel connected to humans after I did acid. Usually, from what I've heard from dippy hippies, is like, we're all one. But apparently, and I got to research it, the effects of this was that people felt less connected to people and more connected to shit, to stuff, is how I took it. Yeah, they de facto, and I grew up that kind of knowing that, like, if the military's de facto Satanists, everybody. I don't know what people think, like, you're a Christian and you're not. Christ wasn't about war at all. At all. Nothing about America is remotely Christian. And the reason they had this weird panicked revivals that they have is because, I can't remember who wrote this, but he goes, if a future civilization found the ruins of us, they're not going to say we're Christian. They're going to go, this is some Egyptian, Roman something culture. A coven is clothing itself in all the Jesus stuff that you think you like and whatever. They're using it as a cover and a flag. And these things don't go together. None of these things are compatible, and everybody just thinks they are. And one thing I like to really get across on the Derb with Kurt is the shit's not secret. It's shit you think is normal and fine. It's not comic book like. It's real basic and evil, and you watch it every day in front of your fucking face. Assholes, I watch them doing mass satanic blood rituals that you call a police action or war or whatever. They're doing it in front of your dumb face every fucking day. Okay. And the best part of being a Satanist, you don't got to believe in shit. Okay. Believe in you. Since 1912, it's been designed to make you like sit still, respond to the bell ringing, to get up and leave. So the public education system, if you look up John Taylor Gatto, he made a thing called Against Education. And he had studied how the public school system was built. And you'll see now, I see TikToks with like conspiracy shit about a real thing. The orphan trains that were sent out west. So all these rich industrialists that invented the education system, they've designed, on purpose and expressly, it's not like a top secret thing, designed it to separate kids from their parents at 5 at a very young age on purpose. Women separated from the men. Okay, so I think everyone should get to vote as an adult, obviously, but the people backing that they wanted women working, and like they wanted everybody being productive to their shit. And they had these trains where they just sent all these orphans out west to like settle the West. And that was on purpose to have them separated from their parents.
Interesting.
Like if you're poor and your parents send you to work somewhere like third world, that's what they did. And it's all been designed to make you just the way people are now. Since 1912, it's been designed to make you like sit still, respond to the bell ringing, to get up and leave.
Was 1912 is that when that happened?
That's when Woodrow Wilson came in and he established the public education system. And apparently people were there were shootouts over it.
Interesting.
Take your kid to school.
I have to look that up.
And it was one of those things a bunch of people saw coming, a bunch of hillbillies saw coming, and nobody wants to listen to hillbillies, right?
That's right.
And then we're all just used to it now. It's been this the whole time. I think they, if you watch like TikTok, they always watch these videos where there's somebody who's watching TikToks. And it's really funny. Like, it's not just trans that is like, what do they call it? Social contagion or something. It's not just that. All kinds of things. Yeah. Tourette's was real big for a while.
What was it?
Tourette's was going around.
Oh, yeah.
All these young girls were catching, the ones that didn't realize they were a man were catching Tourette's off of TikTok.
That's hysterical.
You got all these platforms now connecting everybody, and you could see what goes viral and what goes like, everybody has a craving to be like, what do they always say? To feel seen. You know that shit? So when I was a kid and we were real religious, like you were always seen by the Lord wherever you are.
Right.
But all these people don't believe in that kind of stuff. So there's some craving to be like spied on, I guess. People have it deep down where somebody's watching, knows what's really going on with this.
Yeah.
And so that void's got to be filled. And it ain't just like people at top that want it. It's like a bunch of people want it.
Yeah.
They want it. Or just being a star or whatever the stupid thing is. I want all these eyes on me and like in my personal
Yeah, they don't care about their privacy. They're selling us on why we should be censored. It's a good thing. It's a good thing to not have free speech. It's a good thing to have people shadow banning you.
Do you remember in school? Did you have this in school where like they didn't want us, like little stupid school rules where there's this eternal wearing a hat battle of wearing a baseball hat in school. School is like against school policy. Where they had like 3 T-shirts that were banned that were like those co-ed naked volleyball bullshit, right? Yeah. Like those are inappropriate. Yeah. And I just watched these stupid battles over if you could wear a hat or not. Right. I remember as a kid being like, what in the f*** are you all talking? Like, that's where you get that training to fight over dumb shit.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
And then meanwhile, you're a kid and they're going to take you right back to where you're a guy that works for the company store and you don't get money. You get company store bucks on your debt and you mine or you do whatever the f***.
Yeah.
And you're part of a fiefdom of a large oligarch. So now you're supposed to like pick a billionaire that you like, right? Like me, I like Elon Musk. Yeah. I hate that. And then be like, and I have people that hate Elon Musk.
So stupid.
I'm like, why do you have feelings about? Oh, because you sure shouldn't have feelings about the reality in front of you. You should not think about that.
Yeah.
And you should worry about somebody else's shit.
Everybody's going to change. And when nobody really reacted to that.
Nope.
Do you remember like the Edward Snowden thing happened, I guess, around 2014?
Yeah.
And I was pretty involved in, I worked on 2 Ron Paul campaigns back in the day. And I thought once it's known that the NSA is actually spying on us, everybody's going to change. And when nobody really reacted to that, I was like, oh man, we're in trouble.
Obama's doing it. He's a good guy. So it's probably good that.
Oh, we can trust him.
But even the NSA, I didn't understand when we did this stupid Patriot Act. I didn't understand what the fuck, how dumb that was. And it was like, well, he's an American citizen. They just executed him by drone. And I remember being like, well, citizenship revoked, motherfucker. Like, and, because I'm stupid. I was not at all cognizant that if they could do that to a citizen there, of course they will do it to you.
Yeah.
So everybody that doesn't like another group like that, that's the oldest psyop there is hate the motherfucker next to you.
Yeah.
And pretend like you're in a different tribe than them as long as you don't look upward. That's all you gotta do. And that's a scale. Somebody that would hate, blue hair freaks being on their side, again, that's a terrifying thing. But that's what all this was based on. Like, we can't ever have anybody turning on the saying like the 1% ever the again. And that's when you get this fake left or right where it's like your identity, it's not even the 1% anymore. It's like 0.000. That's how much the trickled up.
Right.
And that's why all the shows suck and all the movies suck and everything has this like DEI corn syrup added to it, and because you don't have to have a consumer thing anymore. It's not even consumerism. It's capital, investment capital. And you just do whatever it is to have them hand you that money, almost as if it was the government. And that's what your country is, a big prison. Because I think they would rather look. All identity politics is to have you fight with each other to not disturb the empire.
Yeah, man.
And since Rome, they've taught kids how to the upper class. They get lessons in how to do this. I think something treatise on the Punic Wars. There's something that rich kids read in school besides Hobbes' Leviathan and these other things that are like all about how you rule. And it's always is to make sure, I like to say, how do you run a prison? Like in California, all the races are separate. Okay? And then they have shot callers that enforce that and they get a little bit of power, right? They're like ruling in hell kind of.
Yeah.
And there's not enough guards for the prison. So it's just easier to control the prison that way. And that's what your country is, a big prison. And how do you control a country with armed people where they let the prisoners have guns?
Yeah.
Well, you divide them up over if women have dicks. You just find dumber and dumber shit, and everybody just goes along with it.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. That's exactly what's going on. When did you start realizing all the bullshit?
I was in 2015. I was watching something on TV about some culture war bullshit, and I was like, wait, are we still in Iraq? Like, I forgot. I forgot if that was still going on, and it was like like if you feel like you left the oven on at home feeling.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute. I'm like, what happened with that? And I think it was inconclusive, the results, but holy shit, I just forgot about it. You know, Guantanamo's still open.
And then, so 2015, that's like...
That's just one little thing. But then where everything really dawned on me was like a buildup and then like an avalanche of shit as you watch it crumbling around you. Then you start noticing... But just like notice the same reason you would like when I was a Jehovah's Witness, you couldn't have talked me out of being a Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
You have all the evidence. I'm not in it because of evidence. It was the thing that's supposed to be the answer to all your problems fails you when it's supposed to be the most important thing, right? That's when people leave. So it's really kind of selfish. And then I'm good at analogies, so I see the same repeating patterns in supposedly opposite things, right? Like the bad guy terrorists and us, Republican Democrat. You just notice the exact same behaviors with a thin veneer of something different and these incredibly shallow people around you that are only look superficially and then try to fail, like, is it because you want to not see? And it is most of the time. And then there's like, you know, animals and trolls are free, as they say in 1984. The people that are just like, they're worried about like football and Taylor Swift or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's something for everyone, but you're never supposed to know. You're always supposed to be compartmentalized. Like, don't do your own research. Millennials are the generation that were completely fucked out of the gate because you're not going to be allowed to own anything.
Yeah.
Okay. And this was being said at the time, like there's just the way the inflation, all this shit was working.
Yeah. You'll own nothing and be happy.
So that's later. That comes later. But that's either a cover story for the people that stole everything already, or the plan all along. I'm going to say the plan all along, and the reason is I read Tragedy and Hope by Carol Quigley, which explains the whole plot. The secret world, Anglo-American world power, it was Cecil Rhodes, the Illuminati. By the way, there's probably dozens of them. And all Illuminati means like illumined one if you make it to the top secret Xenu knowledge of your
mystery box.
Yeah, if you get to the top of the mystery box school, then you're illumined, and that's where they tell you like the real deal finally. So you spend all your time at each initiation point. That's Scientology.
Yeah.
Just very basic. Same as Freemasons, same as Rosicrucians. You get initiated into the next level of knowledge. Oh, the same as working in the Pentagon.
Yeah.
Oh, now you have top secret. You get more top secret. So everything is based on that system.
But do you think? I mean, I guess each system has different kinds of legitimacy. Because you look at Scientology, and it's just like the goofiest shit you've ever heard.
Dude, listen. That is just a cutout to controlled dumb shit actors with blackmail. Everything is blackmail at the end of the day, but. That is a cutout. What they call a cutout, which is like the CIA is not allowed to do this, so they hire a guy to do this. You understand? That's how everything works.
They found a crazy Hubbard who's like a sociopath who would have just like chomped at the bit, be like, "You want me to run my own fucking big fake black?"
I've heard religion? that he's naval intelligence. When people are like worried about there's not enough fill in the blanks in ghost busting.
Yeah. There's no women in ghost busting.
Is this to distract everyone from anything real? Of course it is. And who goes for it? Who goes for it? Fuckheads with college debt because they have to, because they studied to learn this bullshit.
Right.
Yeah.
And then rich people that they love it because it's a lifestyle brand. Being the right side of history is like their lifestyle brand.
Yeah.
And by the way, it ain't the right side of history unless you win. So
it also keeps
that's why they were really clawing. If you're like, I'm the right side of history, everything now the ends justify the means. His history better say I'm the right side, or else I'm fucked. That's my heaven.
Well,
my heaven as an atheist is the right side of history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rich people also like it because it keeps the train moving. Like they've benefited off the train moving. So if they're like, okay, closeted gay, smooth talking black guy, they want him to be the next guy. Fake gay, actually straight, absent minded, fucking Indiana mayor.
Yeah, as long as you're fake. Well, he's probably trained from a young age is my guess, because there's all these young leaders, they're all the age of when MK Monarch was going on, when they were picking the next MK monarchs, okay, who would rule over us in the New World Order. That's what they were told. That's a real thing. Do you think so? What would even be in your head to say, why would you think that? Because you're programmed. Everybody gets programmed. You get stupid movies. What do you think these stupid movies are where the CIA is helping someone? Black Panther. What a op that was.
Yeah.
Black Panther had the CIA. What was the CIA in Black Panther?
Hobbit.
Oh yeah,
Bilbo is oh, you forgot Bilbo is the.
I forgot Bilbo.
Yeah, let's just Bilbo the kindly. I got to call Neil Brennan and yell at him. Not yell at him, but I remember when he saw he goes because he was like, yeah, the one guy had a point, Michael Basketball Johnson or whatever his name is. That's not my joke.
What the B stands for?
That's not my joke. I can't remember whose joke it is.
Michael Basketball Johnson.
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan is Mac.
Do you know his real name is
Michael Basketball Johnson.
Michael Basketball Jordan. I don't remember whose joke it is, but it makes me laugh every time I think about it. He did it. He was at the Improv Lab. But he goes, Michael Basketball Jordan. Fuck, that's right. It is his name. No, he goes, not Michael Jordan who plays basketball. Michael Basketball Jordan.
Yeah. What's his name? Killmonger?
Yeah, and he was like, Neil's like that he had a good point.
Yeah.
Neil has made a lot of neo-globalist WEF
points.
Yeah.
Over the years. And I don't think he's part of anything. I think he's just like people just like, yeah, well, there's no God, the UN. What else is there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Metaverse. I remember.
There's no God, just the UN in the metaverse.
Yeah, dude,
that's your vision of like a rich LA atheist liberal is like there's no God. Just
that's what it is there, dude. Okay, that's just I'm just saying like a loose sketch of Neil, a guy who's a friend of mine.
Yeah,
the people at the top of it, it's so much darker than that.
Yeah.
You get a little up top, like we need to remake everything so everything is artificial. That's a tech bro thing from 2014.
100%.
Yeah.
They're doing it right now.
Why would you do that? And no, you ask them why, and you're like, why? Well, who else is going to do it?
Yeah.
China?
Yeah,
like,
that's their argument.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
what were you saying about Black Panther, the Killmonger guy?
So Neil's saying how his point about Wakanda didn't help the black people.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's like a good point. I'm like, is it a good point? Is that a good point? First of all, Africa don't like you. Just so you know, black people. Why do you think they sold you into slavery? Because they didn't want you.
Do you think there's a second?
You have to buy slaves. You can't just take them.
Yeah, but did you think there was this
motherfucker? Are you stupid? They don't like you. And by the way, black people have known this for a long time.
We didn't find the slave.
Listen, if you're black and you didn't know that, you're white. Okay? That's a fact. If you didn't know that Africans don't
Joe
like
Biden
you,
quote.
Because when I was, that used to be such common knowledge. They're like, they don't like you.
You don't know
by the way,
don't like you.
Same as Mexicans.
I remember Patrice talking about that.
Dude, I don't know. There's a lot of knowledge lost. That's how,
Well, yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's funny to think there was just black Americans.
No, they're all young.
Africa.
It all started with millennials. Millennials are the generation that were completely fucked out of the gate. Overpopulation means, well, I'm a guy with $1 trillion, and what are they going to kill me when they realize that they have nothing and I have everything?
Yeah.
And so that's the danger of overpopulation. So that's what these pyramid things are about, is to make sure that the inmates never turn on the guards, and they won't.
Yeah, you think they're just worried that more people are going to want a piece of their AI money?
Dude, I don't even want to get into the tech people. God knows where they spawn them from, but they don't look right, and they're not. And also, they're not in charge of shit. Okay,
you think they're beholden to something else?
Dude, they're programmable autistics like everybody else.
But
nerds are cows, and you make them do what you want, and that's the theme.
Yeah, but
and then you put them in front. Like, you think Elon's the richest man? Everyone says the richest man in the world, and what does he do with his money? Buy Twitter. You ever hear someone say that? Oh, the richest man in the world, and what does he do with it? Lets people say a few more things on Twitter than the other two things that we control. Oh, should she pay in taxes so we can go to Ukraine? Morons? Well, you're worried about how he spent his money, but not how they spent your money on a Gaza genocide, I was going to say. What? How do you keep time? Like, our whole timeline is like they count down for some reason and then up again. And then China, it's 10. What is it in China now? The year 7,000 or something? Like, so that's just kind of arbitrary. And then really what governs is your tech. You can look at Earth as a time machine. Like, we're doing this. Someone's poking the dirt with a stick somewhere else. They live in the past. So it's kind of, if I have the technology, I live in the future, right?
Right. So our timeline is broken. One of the things that I've argued, especially in my book, Closer Encounters, my main study of the UFO phenomenon, is that UFOs are flying time machines. That's the real.
I think you're right about that.
Disclosure. That's the real problem with disclosure, because it's not about unveiling a craft that can get you from New York to Australia in an hour. The thing is a flying time machine, and you cannot hand those out to the public. Okay. As it is, our timeline is broken enough. Okay. So what I think wound up happening is that whoever achieved the technological singularity first wound up being able to have a hyperdimensional control over different space times. So they can access different eras of human history the way that we can travel to different countries. Right. And these people are trying to basically control time. They've become overlords who are managing human history, editing it and re-editing it in order to manipulate us to basically play a part in whatever, drama they've concocted, whatever agenda that they are attempting to enact. And basically my whole philosophical project over the 15 books that I've written is an attempt to break us free from that by catalyzing some kind of a Promethean rebellion against this hyperdimensional control system.
Yeah, no, I get distinct impression that what I don't understand is, so, I started learning all this stuff because of the tall whites, the Charles Hall.
Right.
I'm sorry, the Directors Guild. I'm in like all these guilds. I don't even know what I did. So, the tall whites was making me laugh as he was talking about, because it was so like we're like Guam or something for them. And they hop down. And then as he described it, they're very tall. These aren't the Nordics. These are albino. They got some kind of acromegaly, I guess, because their bones outgrow their organs. And that's how they die eventually. And he said they had these like wands, like kind of pencil thin wands they could set to different elements in your body. So if they went on sodium, they could like torture you with that. Or no, magnesium, they could put you out in a hypnotic state. And they had to hit you in the temple for it to work. It was all real specific how the stuff had to work. And the guy, by the way, he's a nuclear physics degree, so he could just be country dumb. He's like a farm guy. So he seems very aw shucks about the whole thing. Yeah. But as he's talking, it sounds like, I'm like, I've heard this one before. They're taller and whiter than us, and we're as strong as gorillas compared to them. And you get like, I'm starting to get a picture here. So at the top of the pyramids, even whiter things.
Yeah, look, the issue with that, this is not a hard idea to grasp. So I don't know why I don't hear it from more people. But look, if we're dealing with time masters who are traveling back in time from all different points in the future, then you've got Nordics who are traveling back in time from 200 years in the future, and Nordics who are traveling back in time from 200,000 years in the future.
Right.
And depending upon how far into the future the entities have come from, we would expect to see some degree of evolutionary biological development.
Yeah, there's only one race.
The differences in these Nordics is a difference in evolution over long periods of time. They start out looking like these Nordic supermodel types, and then eventually maybe they wind up looking like what Charles Hall describes as the tall whites. But it's all variation on a theme. And they sent this doctor down there to basically deal with the extremely severe injuries that these natives were sustaining from the close encounters. And the doctor happened to be one of these, blonde Brazilians. I mean, there are some Brazilians that are, from German and Italian ancestry, and they're very...
There's a lot of ethnicities in South America. Like Mexico's got like 48 ethnicities, I think, alone. But South America's got a lot of people in it that are very different.
So this woman, Walade, she was a blonde, and she was the doctor dealing with these people. And she would ask them, well, the people who did this to you, what did they look like? And they'd say to her, Miss, they looked like you. And so they were describing being taken up by a tractor beam that basically pulled them up toward these, in some cases, cylindrical craft, in other cases, spherical. And their skin was burned with like either rays or some kind of a chemical. Some of them had the skin falling off their arms and shit. And they said the people who did this were these callous, blithe Nordics who looked at them like essentially they were garbage or like they were insects.
It sounds very German of those Nordics.
Yeah, it's really disturbing. The
Nazis got, there's something to, now I don't know if they went to Aldebaran or whatever, all that, but something happened with the Nazis.
I think that part of it's a psyop.
Yeah, well, the part, the Communo Dignidad and the, just everything they did.
In Chile, yeah.
Yeah, it's very, it's very obvious that eugenics, I guess, didn't the Nazis at Nuremberg didn't some get acquitted because they used the defense of we were just doing what America did? Some of them had a thing where they go, we learned from you, because America was top of the line in that Rockefeller initiatives and what have you.
Yes.
So this
is an argument that I make at length in my book, Closer Encounters, that, people think somehow eugenics is an invention of Nazi Germany. No way. The United States pioneered eugenics from the 1890s onward. And by the 1920s, we were way ahead of the Germans. And in fact, the Nazis started their eugenics programs to play catch up with Americans.
Right.
Of course, given our Constitution, it was done on a state-by-state basis, not federally.
Right.
But many federal judges, including Supreme Court justices, were in favor of it. So one thing you have to understand when you look at the close encounter phenomenon is that the ideology of creating some kind of a Nordic master race comes from America, not from Germany. And it goes all the way back to the 1890s, and it spanned the entire elite of the Western world, whether Americans or Europeans.
Well, Sir Cecil Rhodes, I think he was into black guys.
All of them. I mean, you look at
the Anglo-American establishment that you're talking about.
The Anglo-American establishment.
Yep. Yeah. So, okay. The other thing I want to understand is why do they have did you GATE, you heard of GATE, I'm sure, and all that Gifted and Talented it was called.
Yeah.
So I was in that.
Yeah.
I don't think anything happened to me, but I don't really remember any of it. Other than we drank fluoride, apparently. This pink we drank was fluoride. I don't know why it would be.
How old were you, Kurt?
I want to say it had to be around middle school to high school, but I think I failed some spatial test that I had to make.
And I'm like, what is this, man? How did they got the head of the CIA here, all these people, and why are they picking, Tom DeLonge?
Well, he comes from a Air Force family or something.
Does he?
Yeah, his dad's in military and the branch that probably is involved in it. And also he spent most of his fortune or something trying to find out about, and then they finally let him in. And so, so I don't believe they would let him in and tell him the truth.
Yeah.
Because think about it. If I'm him and I go on this merry chase to find some shit, all you got to do is have the real group let me in, tell me some cock and bull story about we're fighting against the menace from beyond. Show me a couple of things that are mind-blowing. They probably got all kinds.
Well, they got
and
that
I'll believe you.
They got that video released, I guess, probably 3 years ago. The first one that was it was official. And, it was just, I was just telling Chris, how did y'all put together this whole team of intelligence people? And because I understand what they're stated.
That's the security state, as they call it, has a lot of employees, and there's always leaks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's compartmentalized, they call it, right? So you don't, if you're in, that's how you hide the alien shit, stovepiping or compartmentalizing. You only know what you know.
Yeah.
Need to know basis. Other people, nobody has the whole picture.
Yeah.
So that's why any agent coming forward, what they say, they probably know some stuff and also what they've been told, because you don't get to know the whole thing together. And by the way, that's how we live. There's some kind of power struggle going on with some very powerful people at the top that are not on the same page is what I think it is. I think there's a collapsing starting to happen.
The thing that hammers that home is that at that time, and I don't know what's happened in the last decade, I would imagine not much, but she said there were 600 million documents. That is over 500 million documents that were still classified on Operation Paperclip alone. Now, this is post...
kind of a crime.
Well, beyond a crime, what did they work on? They worked on biological weapons, psychological weapons. Like, I mean, if you don't think that Artichoke, Bluebird, and then MK Ultra come out of that crew, of course it does. And
right.
you look at the pattern of her books. Starts Area 51 really from the alien interest, right? Probably because, again, that's what pop culture has put with Area 51.
I think it's because of Bob Lazar that Area 51
She does,
known, right?
So she has, Lazar is largely left out of the book, but it's in the introduction, there's something about Lazar, and then in the back, there's something about Lazar. So when she talks about Lazar, I mean, this book, Area 51, and it's very dense. I suggest, what I do is when I go on long road trips, I know you do that as a comedian sometimes, I put on the audiobooks and I listen to them that way. Really, it's about nuclear power, weapons, Edward Teller, propulsion systems, and then when she gets into Operation Paperclip, that intertwines with this Horton Brothers thing. Right, that's why she does.
I watched that.
So that's why she gets into it. So the tale of the Horton brothers, for those that don't know, they're these brothers that are working inside Germany on classified projects, including a flying wing. Now, they'd been working on this thing to the point where it was made out of wood in the beginning. So we're talking German engineering, probably that even predates the Nazis' power and rise of Hitler, but definitely incorporated once they get in there.
They just want to make a thing like Werner von Braun. The guy just wanted to work with rockets. Can't you just leave him alone? He did.
I've got, bro.
They all go back to the King of England. They all go back. It's exactly like Tragedy and Hope.
Part of the problem with politics in this country is that the system is set up in a way where unless you're, how can I put this? Unless you're some kind of deviant and they've got blackmail material on you where they've invited you to certain things and gotten you involved with things and recorded you doing them, you're never allowed to get past a certain level in the political system.
Like all mafias, they all work the same way. You got to do a crime, so I know you're not a cop.
That's right.
And everything runs that way. And I don't know if people have a hard time. This is why I don't trust any disclosure. First of all, you don't need disclosure. You could just go look this shit up and kind of work it out yourself. And it's easy to see the important parts, even if you don't have all the lore, right? I don't understand how once everybody knows the government and they don't have to put a chip in your head for it, we're way past that. You can see it in front of you. Watch COVID, okay? Probably a beta test to how much control they got.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, so this is my weird question. Do you think Project Bluebeam, which, by the way, was not a fake alien invasion, it was a religious event that could be an alien invasion, but it was a religious event first. Mm-hmm. So when you bring up Andreessen and the Nordics and we work for God and whatever, you can see the beginnings of of like a story being developed as they tested on people, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I bet you that because climate change, by the way, that's been horseshit the whole time. I mean, I didn't understand the level of, and conservatives I would argue with, I go, I hope you're right. Well, you know what? They were right because NASA, we have more rainforest than we've ever had. The polar ice caps are coming back. The coral's coming back. Bill Gates, just like he did with vaccine, quietly walked away from climate emergency. You see that? I mean, Obama bought oceanfront property, so that should tip you off a little bit too. But so do you think that was the blue beam? Is you're the alien? It's not aliens are coming. You don't belong on this planet, and you're the alien, and you're destroying it. And then they get and then you take scientism and mingle it with that, and then you got I think that's turned more people how they want than anything to me, watching that climate change.
Yes, Project Bluebeam goes back to some idea they had, I think in the 1970s, to use holograms to paint the Virgin Mary in the sky over Cuba to try to overthrow the Cuban government through Catholic religious fanaticism. And they kept building on that idea. And what's really disturbing about it is that when you look at that kind of psychology on the part of the controllers, it doesn't take very much imagination to extrapolate that out into the psychology of the people who run the afterlife bureaucracy that we were talking about earlier. It's the same basic psychology, except, projected forward by, hundreds or thousands of years, right? Right. And then if you imagine that those people have achieved hyperdimensional capability to manipulate human history, well, they're your archons right there. Okay.
Yes, that's exactly what I think is that, because that's very interesting what you said before, by the way, of like you got people planted, because these are all just like points, they're just addresses, not even point in time. So you have your network spread out overall, and so you can coordinate back and forth. In fact, I'll bet you that's a good use right thing. My buddy Eric Hecker said they got in Antarctica that
now, the thing about what Hecker said in Antarctica that, you know, is relevant to your commentary just now on climate change is that even if there's no natural or let's say greenhouse gas caused climate change taking place, we now have the technologies and the weaponry to artificially cause climate change.
Yeah.
To you know, basically weave some narrative that it was on account of greenhouse gas emissions or whatever. We can produce natural disasters. And Lynn Buchanan, who you mentioned earlier, told me that one of the things he sees happening over the next 20 years, you know, using precognitive remote viewing, is he said that there would be a number of natural catastrophes that were actually artificially produced. And that this was going to be one means by which, you know, the socio-political structure of the world would be radically transformed.